Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. What?
You sound all loud.
Loud? I'm not loud. What are you talking about,
You
man?
sound like way too loud.
You're way too loud. Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. How is everybody doing?
That's better.
David, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, dude?
Why are you so quiet?
Check. I'm not quiet.
Okay, good. What's up?
Oh, nothing. Just like you're like, oh, hey, we're going live, and then like, no, we're not going live, and it's like, okay, we're not going live. Yes, we're going live.
That's true.
Based.
Am I still loud?
No, you're fine now. Probably an auto thing.
You're an auto thing.
An auto bot.
So yeah. Sam did damage control yesterday. Well, I have no idea what happened with Sam. I don't watch that guy
I
anymore.
haven't seen any of it.
Used to there was a time when I would listen into his stuff and think, oh, this is funny, and then there is every single time it's like, you son of a prostitute, you
bastard, you disagree with me about something, you bastard, your mom's a bastard, your
And this
dad's a
is why-
bastard, your daughter's a bastard, your newborn baby's a bastard, everyone's a bastard.
everybody should be a good Christian, and we should
Like
adopt
me?
all good Christian values. So you son of a whore.
Yeah, you son of a slut, you Shiist mutan, your mother to produce you, a dog, imagine that, you whore, you filthy whore, you slut bastard.
Dude, why are you talking trash about him, man?
I'm not. That's like word for word. One of his live streams.
So, what was happening yesterday? David Woods. So apparently he was talking again. He was doing damage control. Somebody said he was exposing you. Whatever. It is. I don't know.
Hey.
What?
Hey, we're gonna have a whole stream tomorrow, but we'll see if Sam's brainwashed cult fans can defend him. So you guys heard it. Tomorrow, bring your comments, and do your worst. See if you can defend your idol, Sam Shamoun. And also, feel free to expose me tomorrow, guys. Do it in the chat, and I will respond to your baseless attacks on me, unless they're not baseless, and I'll just admit them.
Baseless. So,
oh yeah, being raped by Shias. Yeah. I got a clip of him like, I want to piss on your mother. That's the Shias raper. It's like, gosh, man, I can't even imagine Muhammad Hijab saying crap like that.
recent answers. I just finished my appetizer stream. Looking forward to main event tomorrow. Sam's ministry must come to an end for the sake of the church. Alhamdulillah. It must come to an end for Allah. Some people sent me some live stream from Christian Prince, who actually made a stream named Advice to Apostate Prophet or something like that. I haven't checked it out, but lots of people said that it was pretty good.
Apostate Prophet, I have advice for you. Never say that Jesus was a Jew. No, is it advice like dealing with Sam? Because
I think
Christian
so.
Prince was dealing with Sam for a while.
I think so. I think that's what it's about. I still haven't watched it. I was going to watch it, but it's 2 hours long, so I usually don't watch anything.
Who watches 2 hour live streams, man?
Yeah. I usually don't watch anything longer than 1 minute. So
anyone who makes live streams that long is not worthy of watching.
Hang on.
What?
Let me see if I can just get a transcript and have it broken down to me within a few seconds through AI. Summary to Apostate Prophet from the 2 hour live stream.
Gosh, AI is crazy, man. That seems handy.
Summary to
I always think like I don't want to do that stuff because it's gonna screw up my thinking like even more than like the internet did instead of after reading books and so on. But like here it's like, wow, that could be a huge time saver. Tell me what this 2 hour show said.
I mean, seriously, it's pretty good. Look at this. Let me show you this. This is pretty good. I put the whole, the entire transcript in here, right?
Beast.
And then I said, summarize the message to Apostate Prophet in this. Thought for a couple of seconds. Summary to Apostate Prophet AP. Keep your private life private. Do not discuss marital issues publicly. Don't let critics, Shamoun, bait you. Ignore smear attempts. They want attention. Public confession only feeds mockery. Haters will weaponize it. Supporters don't need it. A man protects family dignity. Never badmouth your spouse, especially for your kid's sake. If you need to address sin, do it privately, not online. Privacy once lost is gone. Don't trade it for short-term vindication. Measure people by fruits, not church labels. Untrustworthy voices have a record of lies. Fame attracts rats. Expect gossip. Don't descend to their level. Aim for reconciliation and wisdom. Be patient, steady, and refuse spectacle. Bottom line, stay silent on personal matters. Keep working. Let slander die without oxygen. Now, this is pretty interesting. If this is actually an accurate summary of what Christian Prince said here, then that's pretty good.
Yeah, but Sam makes the rules, not Christian Prince. Sam makes the rules. And he says that when you hear something about someone, you just have to instantly go into attack mode and attack and condemn the person based on the little bit of information that you have. And so those are the rules. Those are the rules.
What are the rules?
Hey, look here. I love Sam's brain, but he verbally abused me the first time I commented in a live chat. No, I don't believe it. I don't believe he would say, and you bastard, the moment you disagreed with him about anything.
Yeah, that's what he does, unfortunately.
Guys, all his issues are all like on the massive problem with the abandonment, which is why he loses his mind when someone just says, I don't want anything to do with you. Then he becomes like this epic stalker and so on. But that's connected to him having a problem with disagreeing with him. It's like a kind of rejection, right? And it's like, if you're saying he's wrong, then, you're on the verge of abandoning him and so on. And he just loses his mind and has to insult and degrade you.
Hey, people have been sharing this clip of Kenneth Owens being humiliated by a CNN correspondent, which is kind of hard to believe considering that it's a CNN correspondent. So I do want to check it out. Lots of people have shared it. I really haven't looked at it, but I really wonder what in the hell happened here. So let's have a look at this very quickly, David. Did you see this?
I did not.
Alhamdulillah. Let's see.
When you say you believe that Charlie Kirk was betrayed by someone close to him, what do you mean?
I think that in the coming weeks, there's going to be a lot of financial reports that are coming out. And I, first and foremost, do not believe that Tyler Robinson killed Charlie Kirk. I want to be very clear on that. Whether he was involved, I think the answer is yes. I think that's obvious.
And your basis for saying he didn't act alone is what?
I don't know, maybe the weird Fed messages that were concocted out of thin air that had no timestamp and were written like they were speaking in 1822, among other things. Their lack of an ability to answer any basic questions about what took place.
But do you have any proof that the messages were made up? Because that would be easily proven.
Yeah, but they didn't put timestamps on them, and Discord came out and said they didn't exist.
This was supposedly text messages, not...
Oh my God.
Yeah, there's wild stuff. I have to say, most people who read those text messages are like, this sounds weird. This sounds weird that he's confessing to everything and he's speaking in like this formal language and so on.
So these are text messages.
Uh-huh.
Not Discord messages. She didn't even know that they exist. She's asking for timestamps. Because there are no timestamps on the messages, that is proof to her that they were made up.
Yeah, and what do they have? They basically have like a, like the FBI or whatever compiled them into a document and said these are his text messages. People looked at that and say, it doesn't sound like the way some 22-year-old would talk. And the first thing in my head is, well, until I have something to compare it with other things that he says, like if you showed me a bunch of his other text messages to his boyfriend and so on, and it's completely different from the way he talks, because guess what? Some people communicate in a weird way. That's just a fact. So I'd have to see. Maybe this guy just communicates in a weird way. He is a weird. He got like 99th percentile on the ACT and got a scholarship and so on. Was a straight A student. So maybe he speaks in this way. I don't know. Does seem weird. But if I had to say it's not authentic, then it would sound like someone who has other people involved and who are aware of his plot, like his boyfriend. He's involved and they're planning it together and stuff like this. But he clarifies and says, hey, but what I'm going to do is, in case they catch me afterwards, I'm gonna send you these text messages completely exonerating you and making you sound like you have no idea about any of this. I'm doing that. And that's a person who might speak in this formal language that's because it's not being written to his boyfriend. It's actually being written for investigators later. He might write something like that. But when Candace tried to show that, no, this is actually concocted by someone else, it's like, I don't know how you take her seriously after that, because this good Milk Bar actually showed this. But Milk Bar posted the video. It's Candace Owens saying, look, in his text messages, he uses the word vehicle. Who uses the word vehicle? No one uses the word vehicle. Definitely not young people. They don't use the word vehicle. Therefore, this is made by some old guy. What she said, like writing from 1822 or whatever, where you would say vehicle and not car. And then to prove that Tyler Robinson would use the word car, she showed a little clip of him that was it was filmed after an accident, and he used the word car. She said, see, he uses the word car. This message is fake. And then Milk Bar continues the clip, and then he calls it a vehicle. He's in the exact same clip that Candace was using as proof that this guy would not use the word vehicle, and therefore the text message where he uses the word vehicle must be fake. If you just continue watching the clip, he refers to his vehicle. And it's just like, what? Like, how do you take her seriously after that? It's like flat out deception.
Dude, you could just go through Milk Bar's entire channel and his feed and just watch every single video that he publishes. It is incredible, the kind of stuff that you can get out of that guy. He just puts everything together in in a beautiful way.
Yeah. So here's the idea, guys. These could be authentic messages from Tyler Robinson to his boyfriend, in which case the dude talks weird. And if you want to know if that's how he talks, you just have to find more examples of his text messages and see if he talks like that. If it's not how he talks, then you're thinking, okay, this is some sort of forgery. And then the question is, okay, is it him faking text messages because he wants to keep his boyfriend in the clear? Or is it something like the FBI faking some text messages and so on? I wouldn't rule out any of those possibilities. The FBI could if they wanted to. Here's the thing. The FBI has people who can sound exactly like any age you want, right? They have people who do stings to catch sex predators by pretending to be 12-year-old girls and stuff like that. And if you ever read their message, they sound exactly like 12-year-old girl, like their misspellings and their grammar and everything. They sound exactly like 12-year-old girl. You look at who's typing it, and it's 30-year-old woman, stuff like that. And so they have people that can sound authentic. So you have to say the FBI did it, but they did a real crap job because they made it weird enough that it tipped off Candace Owens. But anyway, so here's the thing. I can see any one of those scenarios. I can see this guy just communicating in a weird way. That makes sense. He seems like a weird guy. It could be him and he's faking it, but he is, he's being too formal in his fakery. Or you could have the FBI. They faked it and they did a real crap job. And all the people who normally do their fake communications and so on, they were all on vacation, and so they got some crap dude who goes, oh, let me talk like I'm in 1822. Well, I mean, all those are possible, but Candace Owens will jump on the one that fits what she's trying to spin. And if you just keep doing that with every bit of evidence that comes in, it could be this, could be this, could be this. Let me go with the one that supports my theory and state this as a fact. I can't take you seriously when you always go with the insane conspiracy theory and then make all the evidence fit your theory.
Hang on, I want to have a look at this now that you mentioned it.
That probably means that you're not a good person or you're not a good company if the truth is a threat to you. There's old footage of Tyler Robinson that is now circulating from a car accident that he had. And during the discussion with the officer that showed up, Tyler certainly refers to it as his car, not his vehicle, because that's how most English speakers
People
refer
don't use the
to
word
a
vehicle
car.
anymore.
Your mom's on her way?
Yeah, she's gonna be a minute. She's got to shuttle over from where she's at to her car and then drive over.
Gotcha.
Car.
His mother was going to shuttle over from her car?
Car.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was looking up at the light just before getting there. I
Okay.
saw it shift yellow, and as I get into the intersection, there was a vehicle in the lane.
How can we then
So he says vehicle. Milk Bar had another Milk Bar had another clip that he compiled
Oh my God.
from Candace Owens in her podcast, repeatedly using the word vehicle just as she's talking about cars.
This
Like over
is
the
so
She's
insane.
like, because that's not how Americans talk. Vehicle. And then he shows her, yeah, and so the vehicle and then the vehicle and blah, blah, blah. And anyway, that's what I mean, guys. It's like, this is her investigation. It's, hey, let me include the little part that fits my theory and omit the part that completely refutes my theory. Knowing that millions of people will watch me, and when Milk Bar completely refutes it and says, hey, she left this part out, not nearly, it's only a fraction of people who are going to actually like see
Look at this.
what happened.
This comment here. 8 likes. So you believe he did it because he said the word vehicle, even though the whole narrative doesn't make sense? Put everything Kenneth thing aside. Okay, 8 likes. So you believe he did it because he said the word vehicle. Do you see how stupid the
They're
logic
really,
is?
really stupid. And that's what
Isn't
happens
how
when
incredibly dumb the following of Kenneth Owens is.
Yep.
This is so incredibly stupid. It is Kenneth Owens who says that Tyler Robinson in a message refers to the car as a vehicle, and nobody says vehicle anymore. And I have a clip of Tyler Robinson here saying the word car. So he clearly uses the word car. Milk Bar comes in and shows actually in the same clip, Tyler Robinson also uses the
which
word
she omitted.
vehicle, which you didn't show.
Yeah.
And then this guy comes in. Oh, so you believe it because he said vehicle? No.
Like, what an
it
idiot.
wasn't
It's
Milk Bar who
Candace
made the
Owens.
proposition here.
Yeah.
It was
Candace Owens made an argument. This is my proof. This is my evidence that this was fabricated. What's the evidence? He would never use the word vehicle. And to prove that, I'll show him using the word car. But then Milk Bar does what? Points out that in the exact same clip that she's playing, if she just kept playing it a few more seconds, he uses the word vehicle. So what's the point? It's Candace made a completely crap argument, and if you're saying, oh, a person wouldn't use the word vehicle, he did. So the entire argument is terrible. That's the response. Oh, so you're saying that if someone uses the word vehicle, then he killed somebody? Like, are you guys stupid, man?
Very, very, very strange.
Discord messages. It's my understanding from the indictment.
I actually did not read that they were text messages.
The indictment calls them text messages.
What would it be like the feds are like on a computer, like typing it out back and
That's
forth?
exactly what it is. The feds made up the text messages.
But you don't have any.
Do you have any evidence for that? Zero.
It's a vibe, and I had a dream.
Anyone from like the FBI telling you that, or law
I have
enforcement?
leaks.
Okay.
No.
Has any?
In my brain. I have leaks in my brain.
I should believe that you have leaks, but do you have any evidence for? She says I have leaks. Does she have? This is what she always does. She also
My sources
said,
say.
She also said ages ago that there were people around Charlie Kirk who to whom Charlie Kirk said that he was going to soon get killed and he's afraid for his life, and that this will come out soon and the evidence will soon be produced. It never happened. She never produced the evidence. Nobody ever shared any such thing. It never, ever happened. She keeps doing this whole thing. Oh yeah, we have leaks. We have evidence. Yeah, we have leaks. I have leaks. I have leaks in my bathroom. Yeah, and there is a lot of evidence for that. Yeah, so you believe me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has anyone leaked to you?
And Tyler Robinson
But has anyone said to you, even off the record, like, yeah, we faked these?
I have very strong sources everywhere on both sides.
Well, I look forward to seeing evidence of that.
Sure. Because when we keep talking about evidence, it's like, who's going to present that evidence? Like the mainstream media? Like who are you?
Yeah,
No,
it's
Candace
a
Owens.
story.
No, it wouldn't be.
It would be.
It wouldn't be.
If the FBI, like if I had a source telling me, like if I had proof that the FBI faked those messages, that would be an enormous story.
Yeah, I kind of feel like we live in a post-Epstein world, and we know how stories get shut down. And
Oh, you hear that? They would Epstein. So she has the proof, ladies and
Appeal
gentlemen.
to Epstein.
Yeah, she actually has the proof through leaks and informants that the FBI. So keep in mind, it's not just her going, this doesn't sound like a 22-year-old to me, and therefore I'm going to say it's the FBI. It's not that. She actually has informants telling her, that's right, the FBI definitely faked this. It's a setup. The FBI wrote those messages. She has the proof, but she's saying if she shared that, they'd shut it down like they did Epstein. Therefore, there's no point in sharing it. But I mean, the interviewer was like, that would kind of be a big story, right? If you actually had proof that the FBI is faking this and faked those messages, you have it, you're just not sharing it. Don't you think that'd kind of be a big story and kind of more powerful than you just saying, well, he didn't use the word vehicle, so we all know that this is made up?
It's so funny how these people depict the mainstream media. Yes, we get it. Mainstream media is awful. We get it. It's unreliable. We get it. They don't talk about many of the things that you would like them to talk about. I have similar feelings, but this whole idea that everybody is in on this plot, right, and they're all hiding something very, very strictly, and nobody's letting it out. I mean, do you understand how many people work in the media? Do you understand the huge number of people that are involved in the mainstream media? Not just the people who are leading it and who own it, not just the people who are speaking on screen, but all those who present the information, who deliver the information, who print things out, who share it on social media, who post it on the website. There are so many people involved. Apparently, every single person here is in on a plot. They're all lying together. Some of these people just don't even really make huge amounts of money or great amounts of money. But apparently they all have like great interest, and they all lie together because there is this big government plot led by the Jews, and nobody can find out the truth about anything. This is apparently how it works. This is a world of insanity. It's very cool to believe that, right? It's very exciting to believe that. It's very exciting to believe that there is always a huge plot out there, that there's always this evil agenda, always this cabal of people hiding and going, we know everything, but we will not tell them. Yeah. We will not tell anybody. It's of course very, very exciting, but it's nonsense. It's complete nonsense. A lot of these media people would sell their behinds to get an exciting story out. And that certainly would be an exciting story.
And by the way, I mean, she's like this on every topic. She goes with the conspiracy theory. And guys, so I'm kind of the guy who never goes with the conspiracy theory, even though I understand there are occasionally actual there are lots of actual conspiracies, but it's like the bigger the conspiracy, like the less likely I am to believe. Like, let's just give an example. She believes the moon landings were faked, right? Lots of people believe that. And it's like, it's the same thing. It's, this doesn't make sense. The angle of the sun doesn't make sense here, or something like that in this picture. And therefore it's this big conspiracy and it's all made up and so on. The huge conspiracy always seems less probable to me than like the standard story on these big kinds of issues. Because think, if you're talking about like faking the moonlight, you're talking about thousands of people who would have been involved in this conspiracy, right? Thousands of people.
No,
like, all the people at NASA, everyone building stuff, everyone's involved in this conspiracy, and all these people, Buzz Aldrin and Neil Armstrong and all these like legends down through the years. Think, any person involved in that plot, so you're talking thousands of people involved in this plot, any person in that plot could have at any time become a multimillionaire just by putting out the book on how they faked it, right? Any person could have done that. And just like, okay, so you're telling me after decades, no one just decided, you know what, we faked that. I'm just going to go ahead and tell everyone that we faked all that. It was all just made up. And I'm going to put a book out and become a millionaire. And so if you were to ask Candace that, it's no, because that person would be killed. And so now you have like this, not only there's their conspiracy, there's like a team of assassins waiting to kill anyone who exposes the conspiracy. except for all the people like Candace Owens who are constantly attacking the conspiracy. I mean, constantly saying there's a conspiracy, and they have all this proof of it. Why aren't they all being killed, right? So if the conspiracy is so important that you would kill anyone who exposes it, why do you constantly let people like Candace expose it? It's the same thing with 9/11. You would have had tons of people involved in that. If that's a government plot, if it's an Israeli plot, whoever the plot is by, loading that much explosives and that's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of work. And to make it look like it's the plane crashing into that's a lot of people involved in that conspiracy. And any one of them at any point, anyone in the government who's aware of that. I mean, just think about this. If you're the administration who carries out this plot, and then the next administration comes to power, and they could just point out, do you know what the previous administration did? Because you're going to find out about this, right? So the next administration comes along in, they could just easily say, hey, do you know what the previous administration did? In other words, when Obama comes to power, do you know what George Bush did? Do you know? And boom, end of the Republican Party, guys. End of the Republican Party. But they don't. So anyway, it's just, it's always weird. It's always weird to me. I grant the possibility of conspiracy. It's these things are possible. It's just the idea that all these people are involved in this and no one ever comes out because there's always this team of assassins hiding.
Look at this. No. Jonathan Blanco says, oh no, man, I'll come to listen to you guys for scripture, but you know nothing about these topics. I scroll a little bit up because I just saw the same guy here. He says, Buzz said they didn't go to the moon. The same guy here who says Buzz Aldrin said he never went to the moon comes here and says, oh my God, you guys know nothing about these topics. Dude, that is a stupid conspiracy. I'm pretty sure that it's actually a deliberate hoax. It's not even an elaborate conspiracy theory. It is a hoax. It is based on a short clipped video. And if you actually believe that Buzz said we never went to the moon.
I saw him punch a guy in the face for saying we didn't go to the moon. He punched a guy. He clocked a guy in the face. If you
actually believe this, and you actually come here and think, oh, you guys don't know the topic. I don't know what to tell you, man. But that is not even a serious claim. It's based on a hoax.
Yeah. Hey, someone just said that. Someone just said, didn't Buzz punch a guy who said that to him? Yeah, a guy came up. Come on, why are you lying? Why are you guys lying? He turned around and punched him in the face.
Oh my God, people, man.
And the guy later apologized to him. So interesting stuff.
This is just incredible, man. Absolutely incredible.
Candace fan detected.
Incredible. And some were like, oh no, you're saying you believe the media. No. The media can control things, can control a narrative. For example, during COVID times, the media was very, very clearly adamant on pushing one narrative and drowning out the other. That's a completely different matter. They focus they focus with a bias on simply amplifying any pro-lockdown, pro-vaccine, pro-COVID measurements issue at that time. When there is conflicting information that conflicts with that agenda, they shut it down or they quiet it. That's completely different. Okay? There I can say, yes, you're right. The media was highly manipulated. A lot of social media platforms admitted it as well. Didn't just Mark Zuckerberg just admitted it as well. So a lot of the media and social media and others had an obvious and clear bias. That is a different thing. That is completely different from this theory here, where a huge assassination of Charlie Kirk happens. And Candace Owens actually wants you to believe that because the media lies, because the media prefers one narrative over the other, this also shows that they totally could know of but shut down a conspiracy that involved the federal government in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. The two things are worlds apart. Being biased and therefore preferring one narrative over the other, and knowing that it wasn't actually Tyler Robinson who assassinated Charlie Kirk, but somebody else, and shutting that down are two completely different things. If you think they are in any way similar, you must have serious problems.
And I would just say it's the same reason. Like, what do you see from the media? As you pointing out, you see that they're biased, that they favor certain narratives over others, and the evidence very frequently doesn't back up what they're pushing and stuff like that. That's exactly what we see from Candace Owens. And so it's like, why should we not trust the mainstream media, but trust you? Like, why? I mean, we just saw you like give your proof that this is made up, and it's that this guy doesn't use the word vehicle. And in order to get that, you cut out the part where he used the word vehicle. It's like, why would we trust you? Anyway.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
All right, shall we do this then?
Do what?
AP is the latest of streamers. How you see, said Jack Ray. Ryan Gosling said, Muzi said, Muzi is here, let's go. Thanks, Muzi. Eunuch Pet said, Candace looks like Tracy Chapman, but Tracy Chapman.
Oh, Tracy Chapman.
Graceful. Why did you type it like that?
You got a fast car.
Der Miner says, hey, AP and David Wood, love you guys. I have a quick question for David Wood. Sorry to take away from topic. I remember a long time ago, David Wood, you brought up a book written by a professor that compared the Big Bang with Genesis. What was the name of that book? God bless. Heart.
I don't remember what you're referring to here. Two main possibilities. The first apologetics book I ever read, this was in jail. It's the first apologetics book I read, but I didn't know what apologetics was. The first apologetics book I read where I actually knew what apologetics was More Than a Carpenter. But before that, I read a book called Creator and the Cosmos by Hugh Ross. Hugh Ross. So I might have been talking about that. He talks about being a scientist and then him reading Genesis and so on. But also John Lennox has talked about things with God, God said, let there be light and so on, and then organizing the universe and so on. So John Lennox has talked about that as well. So I don't know what you're referring to, but probably one of those.
So this person made a $50 super chat and you're like, oh, I don't know.
I'm not a psychic, man. This person is quoting me from like years ago. And no, it's just, it could refer to multiple things. I'd have to see what I was actually saying.
I hope that helps. The White Trash Panda says, Davey over here talking trash about the great Halal Hogan.
I ain't talking trash. Just spitting facts.
Anna Walker says, my husband does Christian prison ministry and is seeing Islam spreading. Advice for addressing this in that setting.
If you're talking about prison ministry in the United States of America, it's the same rule as always. The bottom of the barrel in prison. Snitches, child molesters. Those are the bottom of the barrel. I've been saying for years, if you could make it known among prison inmates, and you don't have to run and tell all the Muslims. You just get the information into the hands of the Christians, let them deal with it. If it became common knowledge in prisons in the United States, wouldn't work in the UK, Islam, it's too Islam heavy over there. They're fine with it. They're fine with Muhammad having sex with a little girl. In the US, still extremely frowned upon. If it were to become common knowledge in prisons, in U.S. prisons, that Muhammad had sex with a 9-year-old girl, you would not see Islam growing. It would be like saying, oh, yeah, here, our fundamental rules are don't mess with kids and don't snitch. It would be like finding out that Muhammad's a snitch. Be like, you're not going to see people converting in there.
Powerful. You said Nazi, though. Running Dick Dig says, challenge him to Mubahala. Yeah. Pizza Zoot said, David would refuse to drink Red Bull because Red Bull gives you wing. AP, David Wood, whatever happened to the small screaming goats? What did happen to them? I have no idea.
My battery's been dying. Let's see. Sometimes it works. Nope, battery's dying. Yep, it's dying. I got to replace the battery.
I have no idea. The last time I saw my goat was when because that was before I traveled. Yeah, I don't know. Jingoistic Pig said Crowder had cigar show with Amru Fuddle. Disappointing. Yeah,
I would suspect that Crowder would actually push back more than like Tucker Carlson with some of these guys. So I'm totally fine with people having discussions, even with insane or evil people, but you have to challenge them on the important issues, which is exactly what Tucker wouldn't do. I
would suspect that what he did was just because Amru Fuddle talked about Islam, right? That's
just on that issue.
Steven Crowder invited Amru Fuddle.
So he might have just been agreeing with him because he's talking about saying some stuff about Islam.
Yeah, but Amru Fuddle is a retarded neo-Nazi, so I wouldn't give him any.
Who's literally named after Elmer Fudd.
Yeah. Sometimes he calls himself Myron Gaines, for those who can't follow. Thoughts on Hadith fan fiction, Sahih al-Zutari. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. Ligamathigayan says, why is it called Islam instead of Islam? That one vowel alone could turn me into a mindless bigot. That's just how it is, man. It's the beauty of Arabic. Everything sounds beautiful in Arabic. Frank Turek finally responded to her on CBN News, says Falcon. What did he say? I just texted with him earlier today. What did he say? When was that? I don't know. Frank Turek. Candace Owens. Frank Turek's powerful response.
Oh, hey.
25 minutes.
Hey, we'll be seeing him. We'll be seeing him in Boston. We could record a in-person interview. If you want.
Really? That's cool. Okay, yeah, let's do that. I'm probably going to head over to the Turning Point event next month, so I'm going to see him there too. But before that, doable.
You and the Gripers.
Powerful. Dawa Troll, I was horrified when I first saw Candace's face. Very rude. Apostate of Allah, I was thinking about God's transforming power in my after becoming a Christian, and you came to mind, AP. As an atheist, how did you explain David Wood's transformation and what's changed? I talked about that on a recent podcast with what was that?
Was it those Coptic dudes? I remember you saying it somewhere. Something I saw.
You heard it? Look at this. David is like looking for people talking about him.
I was like people talking trash. Is AP talking trash about me? Let me go see what he says. It better be positive or I'll destroy him. Destroy him, bastard! Bastard!
What is this AP's talking about me? I have to listen to it.
Let me talk about his mother.
Yeah, it was on Coptic Orthodox Answers. I actually talked about this. There was an interview with me about a month ago. I can't talk about it now. I talked about it there because I was more in the mood of talking about it. But I might talk about it some other time. I might actually talk about it later in this show. MT says, how lovely, the boys are back.
'Cause the boys are back in town.
Adi Osman Katalson, I was attacked by a demon on February 2023. Sam Shamoun, that was me. Katalson, no, he did this beautiful Arabic humming. Uninspiring philosophy. Hey, did they change your name to Apologetics Zucho?
That'd be funny.
You see, real texts don't use synonyms. Yeah. They had cars in 1822. I'd stake my career on it. Cross Kingdoms said, is there a way I can talk to you guys privately? It's extremely important. Not to me, but to David Wood. You can always talk privately. Yeah. David is always expecting people to email him and to talk with him in private. So
it's my favorite thing to do, talking to people in private.
Yeah. Cars and Dimension says, Jews on the brain is a terrible prognosis. Candace carries around leaks like a farfetch. AP, my brother in Christ, says Buddy the Rabbit, I love you, but this thumbnail is literally genocide. Oh, hi, David. I know it is genocide. That's why I wanted to put it up there. I thought it looked beautiful, actually. That's why I put that thumbnail up. Kex, you guys should visit Mount Athos. It is definitely on my list of places to visit one day. If I can ever find the means and the time, I would love to do that.
Is that the place where they have that, what is it, monastery or something?
Yeah. It's an autonomous community of monasteries and stuff in Greece. It's pretty based. Fox McCloud. To be fair, they lied about Israel for like 2 years straight, telling bald-faced lies to anybody that would hear it and passing it on like it's a fact. That's what they do all the time. Yeah, but once again, telling one narrative and hiding such burning, brutal piece of information are just two completely different things. Buddy the Rabbit, Candace is fake and gay. I'm just asking questions. Well, Candace is a man, so yeah. Vir Dolorum says, I have a theory. She's Dunning-Kruger maxing to feel maximally self-impressed with herself and inspiring a whole ridiculous generation to join in. I have the theory that she's playing insane because she knows that she will lose the court case with the Macrons. So She's just acting insane. MT, there's a 1-minute video of her talking about how she planned to do this with the Koberger case, but he confessed, so she had to find another grift. That's pretty funny. Hey AP, bitte nimm Irfan mal mit nach Israel. Maybe I will one day. MT, vid name, real Candace O to cover Ida 04. Okay, shall check it out. AP, are you saying you believe the reason we haven't been back to the moon because we lost the technology, as the NASA expert said? Are you saying you believe the reason we haven't been back to because we have lost the technology? No, that's also not really the whole statement there. The whole statement is generally that not that we lost the ability or we lost the technology. If you ask NASA the question, in fact, I'm pretty sure there was an article very recently, which was that it is not really readily available because there is no need for us to go back to the moon. That's what they said. For decades now, since successfully going there, it has pretty much been concluded that there is no real purpose in going there, considering the huge expenses
and the danger.
and
It's still dangerous. It's still dangerous, and we still see ships blowing up and stuff like this. So
it's completely worthless to go there.
It's dangerous, insanely expensive. So what are you getting out of it that would justify those things? And they're saying there's not enough. There's not enough reason to go back.
So they put it to rest. The whole idea, oh, no, we want to go back, but we lost the technology. That's nonsense. That never happened. Nobody ever said this. Joshua Wooden. Candace did research on cases of vehicular manslaughter in the 1800s. But in modern U.S. courts, these cases are widely known as vehicular manslaughter.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Interesting. Mo the Goat. My issue with Candace Tucker and co is that, okay, Jews are bad. What's stopping them from talking about the other groups or countries? Why they need to support the Hamas co at the same time? Because it's the popular thing to do. That's it. These people are just they don't care about facts. They don't care about truth. They don't care about actual problems. They talked about Christians being mistreated. If they cared so much about it, they would talk about those countries that actually mistreat Christians. Do they talk about it? No, they don't. That's what they do. Ash, what's up, Ash? Are you getting your channel back? The Israelis use a powerful projector to put a moon image in the sky on a fixed cycle so that they can hide the fact that they stole the real one. Oh, well, that makes sense. All right, man. I want to talk about something that is on my mind, and it's going to tie into tomorrow, because tomorrow.
What's tomorrow?
Something
going on tomorrow?
Tomorrow, on David Wood's channel, on David's channel tomorrow, we will be talking about everything.
Everything and everyone who's involved in this particular discussion.
Everyone.
Oh, I need that. I need to get that clip by tomorrow. Everyone.
So,
you know what's funny? He did that as a joke.
I know. I know.
How do we always end up watching like the same behind the scenes stuff that
I don't know, but it's such an incredible scene, and I watched that movie like so many times.
Yeah, so he told the story. He said that he told the sound guy, he said, I'm just going to do like this completely like over the top everyone. So get the sound right. It's a joke. But yeah, the director loved it. He stuck with that one.
Yeah. That is, for those who don't know, from the movie Leon, or Leon the Professional.
Hey, you know what's funny? I saw that in prison. And everyone was watching The Professional. In the end, when he blows up all the police, the whole place erupted into applause. All the inmates started cheering, yeah, because he blew up all the cops. It was funny.
There's something very weird about the movie, though. It's pretty creepy, isn't it?
Oh, no, it's extremely creepy. He's got this little girl, and it's like there's more than just him taking care of you going on there. It's
the big guy living with this little girl. So
it's pretty darn creepy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, So tomorrow we're going to talk about Sam Shamoun. We're going to talk about me. We're going to talk about a lot of things. We're going to set the record straight. We're going to address much of what has been said. Maybe at the end of the day, David is going to be like, "Ooh, I don't want to hang out with AP anymore. It's ridiculous."
Good, not about a 99% chance of that.
Yeah. So we're gonna do that. But earlier today, I felt like I want to, just before we do that, also talk a little bit about and a little bit address certain things. And I'm doing this pretty much unprepared. I did this because I wrote a letter today that is addressed to somebody within the church. I know I haven't written a letter since I was a little child, so it's the first time since then that I actually wrote a letter. And I basically started from the beginning of where I was, where I grew up, how I lived, how I was an atheist, and how I recently found my way to the faith. So as I was doing that, I thought I should also sit down and briefly, without going into too much detail, talk about some of the things here. Now, I went to Israel several weeks ago and spent quite some time there. When I was in Israel, before I went to Israel, actually, I sat down and talked to David here. And I told him about a changing life situation. It wasn't a secret or parts of it were not a secret to those who were around me. David, you can confirm that, right?
Yeah, you told me. I didn't get much information, but yeah, you told me.
In fact, what David said to me that night when I told him about my changing life situation was, okay, you should probably think about how you're going to explain this. You should probably sit down and say a few things. And I was like, no, I don't want to explain anything to anybody. I just want this to be...
You're like, no, it's no one's business. I'm like,
and David
that's
said,
going to work.
David said, believe me, people want to too much talk about other people's lives, so it will be an issue. You should probably talk about it. And I was like, I don't care. I don't want to talk about it. And he was like, yeah. So turned out David was right. For the first time ever, David was right about something.
Broken clock, man.
So I told him before I left that that there is a changing life situation with my marriage, with my home, that I do not want to further talk about in public. Why? It's because I talked about it with those involved, and the problem has been solved, and it is not really anybody's business except for those who are involved. If I ever at some point go and cause harm to somebody else, right? If I mistreat somebody, if I cause injustice, if I treat somebody horribly, and it is certain that I did indeed do that, then it's absolutely right that people should call me out and we should talk about it, and I should be held accountable. If that is not the case, then it's nobody's business. If there are two people involved in a matter, and these two people talked about it, and they don't want the public to be involved in any way, then it should be left at that. Nobody else should be talking about it. Unfortunately, I am aware that we are living in a different time where things are very much out in the public, although I don't want to share everything with the public. Look,
you will share everything.
I did it over the last few years. A lot of great things happened to me, and I did a lot of great things. Bad things happened to me, and I possibly did bad things. I don't want to share the good. I don't want to share the bad. I want to keep most of my life private. That's what I like. I already have enough stress to deal with the publicity because of the Muslim side. Okay, so that's that. That said, some things just didn't really elude the public. And the one issue is this, that I had a changing life situation, as said, which involved separation from my wife. That is not something that happened out of nowhere. It's not something that happened out of the blue. It is something that already started a long time ago, when I was an atheist, when I was at the peak of it. And it was primarily caused by me, by the other person involved, by issues in our lives. Okay. I did things as an atheist that might not have that are not good, that I should be judged for. We lived a life as atheists that were probably not good, that we should probably be judged for. But we did conclude at the end to come together, initiated mostly by me, that we should go separate ways, and that we should do this while looking out for each other, respecting each other, loving each other, helping each other out, and so on. In fact, I initiated this by saying, we should do this, we should separate, but I will do my best because I care so much about you, the mother of my children, and about our kids, that I want to the best of my ability, take care of everybody. And this was the conclusion. This was literally the conclusion. On day one of us talking about this, the conclusion was, okay, let's do this. Let's do it. It's not ideal. It's not good. It's not fantastic. In fact, since it happened and since we initiated this, I have been hurting brutally. And I hurt right now as I speak about it. David probably doesn't know what that is because he's a psychopath. But it's pretty painful. It is not pleasant at all. It's not something that I do or that anybody does because we love to do it. It's something that is a necessity, that I agreed as a necessity, and that my wife also agreed as a necessity. If anybody wants to know further about why we consider it a necessity, I'm going to tell you, it's not anybody's business. That's it. It is not anybody's business. It shouldn't be anybody's business. Unfortunately, over time, some things were kind of handled irresponsibly, both by her and also by me. For example, she said she shared our status and said, please do not ask me, he left me, things like that. These were things that were said, in my opinion, irresponsibly, and I told her that as well, because that's not really what happened. We had a very well agreed upon process that we started. It wasn't one person leaving the other or anything like that. That led to people like Shamoun coming in and making the situation significantly worse than it ever was, and turning it into a giant conspiracy theory.
Sam making something worse? Impossible. Yeah. He only makes things great.
You know what he did, actually? It was so absolutely horrible, which at that point, I really wanted to jump in. Like, part of me wanted to jump in and go live immediately and talk about what a horrible person he is, and what kind of a Satan and prostitute he is by his own standards. Because what he did was, as soon as this talk about this came out, he started creating fake theories and said AP clearly left his wife because they had a disagreement about Israel, about Zionism, because AP loves Israel and Zionism so much, and she couldn't handle it, therefore he left her. He didn't even speculate. Okay? He said this is what happened. I mean, seriously, man. How messed up do you have to be? When
by the way, also, it was, this is because of David's Zionism.
Oh, yeah.
And then he's calling us Christian Zionists, and he says, it's Christian Zionism, and it's because I'm a Christian Zionist that you and your wife are parting ways. And
yeah, he even
totally sane.
even took it further and said that it is actually David's fault. So it's David's fault that we got separated, because David has this Zionism that he instills in this cult that is around him, and I have been part of that, which is what led to this separation. Now, here's the thing: two things. When somebody just slightly misrepresents Sam, or when he gets the impression that somebody slightly misrepresented him, he starts calling them a Shia prostitute, a whore, a child of Satan, or Satan himself, and so on. What in the world does that make him now? Secondly, how insane do you have to be? He has my number. He could call me and message me. He could ask me. He could send me a message on Facebook Messenger, as he always does, because he's the only person that I'm in touch with who uses Facebook and who messages me from there. He didn't do any of these things. He went out there and started creating an insane conspiracy theory that somehow involved Israel, and he used this to attack Israel. I'm sorry. This is just, and how messed up and how insane are you, man? How insane are you?
Pretty insane. Oh, by the way, I didn't see it, but someone told me he was flipping out because you called him a bastard and talked about his mother or something like that. And it's like, wait a minute. All you did was apply his rule.
Yeah.
You literally applied his rule. People asked him, hey, why did you just attack this guy and call him a bastard and talk about his mother? And he said, because he misrepresented me. And AP went, okay, well, if that's the rule, well, you've misrepresented me, and therefore, by your own rule, I can call you a bastard and talk about your mother. And then what's Sam's response? Well, when I see him, I'm going to say it to my face and see what happens. Like, wait a minute, you're the one who made the rule. It's your rule. We don't have that rule. We don't think, this person's misrepresented, so we're going to talk about his mother being getting gang banged by Shias and so on, and then him being a bastard. Like, we don't have that rule. You make the rule. AP says, okay, if that's a rule, then you actually fit that perfectly, and I can do that to you. No, you can't. It's just he makes up rules that for some reason never apply to him. And it's like he understands it's a terrible rule when you apply it to him, but he still applies it to everyone else. It's a really, really weird situation.
Look at this. So here's Luisa Capelli saying, AP, you have young children. You cannot abandon your family. This is insane. Are you listening to me? Are you listening to what I'm saying here? What did I just say? Nobody's leaving. Nobody's abandoning. Okay? We are reasonable people. Yes, as Christians, there should not be such a situation, a divorce or a separation. I agree with that. I understand that. Although there are justifications for it, I have to tell you the justifications are there, even by Christian standards, although they precede the coming to Christianity. Nobody is abandoning anything. We have talked and concluded to reasonably handle this and to take care together, somehow, despite the situation, of our kids, of our children, and of each other even. Believe it or not, you might have heard, if you have followed the situation, and for some stupid reason, when it should be nobody's business, it has been amplified and you have been exposed to something about me over the last weeks, you might have somehow got the impression that there has been this new event where I am now, in a hostile way, fighting with my former wife. That we are fighting, that we are hating each other. I can tell you, we talked today, and what we assured each other was that we want nothing but the best for each other. That we want to look out for each other. That we want to help each other, however and wherever and whenever we can. That we don't want to let each other down. That we still want to stick together in helping each other. And that we want to make sure that our kids are always taken care of by us. Nobody is abandoning anybody here. Nobody is leaving or leaving anybody desperate. Please do not make assumptions about the situation. We are handling it. And I'll tell you, once again, the justifications, the foundation, the basis is there. You don't have to worry about it. We are involved and we are handling the situation. You don't have to worry about it at all. It's very hurtful. You don't need to add to that. And I shouldn't be explaining any of this.
Too late. Tomorrow's the day.
But of course, his message was, when you explain things, well, how about you send me the link so I can join and I can ask
he's
you
the judge.
questions and humiliate you. I'm sorry, who the hell are you?
Yeah.
Who the hell are you, man?
It's a good question.
Who the hell are you?
He's a person who decides everything based on whether you're attached to someone who has abandoned him at some point. That's how everything is decided. And that makes him an infallible judge of a situation involving you when he views you as the guy that I abandoned him to go do shows with. So I used to do shows with him, then I abandoned him and went with you. And so you're public enemy number one. And that makes him the unbiased judge of your separation from your wife. And so he's happy to insert himself into that, not in the Zut sense, but...
Dude. The funny thing is also that he goes out and is like, and I know that they will now start attacking me. They will come after me. Oh yeah, we will. Not because that is a distraction. No, we will not distract.
No, we're being we're helping Sam be consistent for once in his entire life.
Taking full responsibility, talking about everything, and then talking about him.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, this guy. You can go online and you can find the court documents of his wife insisting on the separation, him appealing, and his wife being granted the, what's it called again? The order that he cannot come closer this much, then this much. What's that called again? What's it called again, man? What's it called?
My brain's fried too, man.
I can't think about it right now.
My wife was out of town. I had to do everything. I'm having trouble thinking now.
Restraining order, yeah.
Yeah, restraining order.
Restraining order.
I kept thinking order of protection. No, it's called something else more commonly. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is you can find online a restraining order for Sam Shamoun because his wife demanded it to be protected, according to the document, from his harassment, stalking, and physical abuse. We can talk about it. If you want to be held accountable, if you want to take responsibility, we can talk about it.
There's way more than that, dude.
I repeat, harassment, stalking, and physical abuse. That's a court document about Sam Shamoun.
Yeah. No, dude, and I'll just say, it's this weird situation. You cannot criticize Sam for anything he does or has ever done. But it's just a fact. If you had punched your wife in the face, he would be shouting that from the rooftop as the reason for why no one should ever associate with you ever. But that's what he did. Wild stuff.
You're saying he punched his wife in the face?
Yeah. And by the way, that's not the worst of it. We'll be talking about tomorrow. We'll be talking tomorrow, man. Hey, check out your buddy here.
Very strong, man.
So this guy, Scum Shamounum the dog, says, Apologetics Roadshow, you blocked me just because I talked about Sam's life when he was attacking CP while you were siding with Sam Shamoun. Are you also a hypocrite? I don't even know what you're talking about, but I normally block people if they're just talking trash about people's personal lives in the chat and trying to distract and so on. I've done that several times with people complaining about AP. Right? It's like, hey, I've already said, we'll address this some other time. So if you're demanding, if you're just posting trash talk about him and not waiting for him to appear, I've been blocking tons of people. So that's my general rule. If people are just here to distract and to talk trash about people and stuff like that, and it's not relevant to the discussion, do that crap. And I always say, do it somewhere else. Go somewhere else. Go to some other channel and do that. So I don't know what you mean by hypocrite. That's how I've always been, and that's exactly how I am right now. There's the difference here in this situation is because we could have done that. We could have gone that road and just said, okay, we're just going to block anyone who brings it up. We decided in this particular case to go in a different direction. And so address some things, but also finally hold Sam Shamoun to account. And if you got a problem with that, you can shut up or I'll block you.
I'm going to, of course, talk about this tomorrow and present it on screen as well. But here's the quote from the document. In November 2017, at Michelle's, maybe I shouldn't read that. In November 2017, the trial court entered a 2-year order of protection prohibiting Sam from harassing, stalking, or physically abusing her. This is the document.
Stalking, you don't say. You know, it's funny. Someone sent me the clips. We'll check out the clips tomorrow. Again, I haven't watched his stuff, but someone sent me some of the relevant clips. And in response to me pointing out that he's a stalker, he follows me around at conferences, and then no matter where I block him, he finds someone to contact me. It's this is just the proof that I'm the one extending the olive branch. It's if someone says, I don't want to be associated with you because you have behavior that I do not want to be around, get away from me, get as far away from me as possible. He says he's being Christ-like by just finding other ways to contact you. So you block him from my phone, block him from social media, block him from email, just keep blocking him. I don't want anything to do with you. And he just keeps coming at you and contacting you this way, showing up at conferences. And it's in his mind, that's him being Christ-like. It's I want nothing to, you are the most toxic person I've ever met in my entire life. I've tried to help you all these years. All you do is get worse and attack everyone around you. Physical abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse, all the time, everywhere. And I want nothing to do with it. Get away from me. And you keep coming at the person, hey, you want to work together? Hey, you want to do this? Hey, and messaging the person's wife and so on. He thinks that's the sign that he's good. But notice, it's the same pattern. Someone rejects him. He goes into stalker mode. You see it from his wife, his ex-wife. Goes into stalker mode. So anyway, he thinks it's totally normal behavior. Guess what? All stalkers think they have totally normal behavior. They all do. You ask any one of them, hey, you told this girl you wanted to be with her, and she said, no, get away from me, you creep, and now you're following her around. Well, it's just to show that, I really love her, and she doesn't want anything to do with you, dude. Why are you following her around? Because I have to demonstrate get away from her, you freaking lunatic. Anyway, that's what we're dealing with now, but he's got his fans. So we'll see. Hey, all you Sam Shamoun fans, come tomorrow. See if you can defend your hero and do your worst.
Powerful. Now there was one comment. AP is upset because he got caught. All right. What exactly was I caught?
Yeah. How are you not going to be caught? Were we just going to think that you're married for the rest of your life and no one is ever going to catch on?
What exactly was I caught at? Please tell me. I'm going to be completely honest with you and tell you everything. Please tell me, what exactly is it that I was caught doing? I'm really curious.
You were caught separating from your wife.
Adultery. Oh, I was caught at adultery. David, do you want to talk about that tomorrow?
We want to talk about. You're sitting here talking about everything that we're going to talk about tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. So, what happened? Here is one thing. So, you have probably seen a clip of me, right? That by the way was in no way secretive. On the On the contrary,
Yeah, you're just prancing around.
on the contrary, I am in front of a camera, in front of everybody, on Tommy Robinson's screen, together walking with a woman. Like, oh, look, we caught him. Yeah, you really tried very hard. And therefore, you have concluded that there was some cheating or some adultery or something like that. Now, number one, once again, how is that your business? Number two, did you ever ask me what the hell that is about? Number three, given all the information that I just told you about my life situation, how in the world do you reconcile these two claims? Shouldn't you be sitting down and maybe listening a little bit more instead of making your judgments? But once again, why in the world is it your business? Why can't you just mind your own business? If I did things the wrong way, if I did something wrong, or if I did things the wrong way, and I'm sure I did, that's on me and on those who were wronged by me if I did wrong anybody. I assure you I didn't. Nobody is complaining here. Nobody who's actually affected by this situation is complaining. Guess why? Because nobody has anything to complain about. So why in the world is it your business?
Because if you're a dirtbag, we all want to know. Hey,
I
check
sure
this
am.
out.
I sure am a dirtbag in many
That's
ways.
true.
In many ways. But here's also the thing. When in the world did I put myself out here as a moral guide to people? Have I not always said that I'm just a guy? That I'm just some idiot? that I'm terrible? That I'm horrible? Have I not openly said these things? You can probably go back and find me say that stuff on streams over and over again, so many times. Have I ever put myself out here as a religious authority? Have I ever put myself out here as a role model? No. I have always said that I'm no such thing. Have I ever pretended that I am somebody to be followed? No. I was broken, okay? I was broken. And to be honest, and I've explained this in recent videos and testimonies. I have said that until very recently, I was on a path of self-destruction. Those were the words I used several times. I was on a path of self-destruction. I was in a very, very dark place. I was destroying myself. And I have recently found faith and hope, and everything has changed for the better. That's where I am. I'm still broken, like most of us. And I would never, ever want to present myself as a role model to people. Stop taking me as one. But I sure as hell have not wronged or caused injustice to anybody. If I did that, you should hold me accountable. If I didn't do that, and those who should complain are not complaining, then please mind your own business.
You've never wronged anybody.
That's totally what I said.
Hey, look at this. Hey, let's stop this. No, Sam may have issues, but David, didn't you say you never told him what he was doing? What planet do you live on, dude? Like, seriously. Yeah, notice, you're sitting here condemning me for saying, didn't you say you never told him what he was doing? What the hell are you talking about? I told him for 20-some years that he was wrong. What are you talking about? What I didn't do was publicly expose him. Now I'm following a scriptural principle. The measure you use, it will be measured to you. He's demanding that when you know something about someone, you have to publicly expose it. Okay, I still am not going to apply that as a general rule. If I know you and I know something about you, I'm not going to, hey, let me tell you what this guy did. Not going to do it. Sam says that's the rule. Someone has done horrible stuff. You expose it. Okay, then I should apply that rule in this situation. That's his rule. So what are you talking about? David, you said you've never told Sam that he's wrong. So how can you do this now? What the heck is wrong with people, man?
Yeah. I don't know. Very, 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 very weird stuff. So, with that said, this is not it, of course. This is not all. Since people want to make it their business, I'm going to make it their business tomorrow. Since people want to make me their business, I'm going to open up tomorrow and make it everybody's business.
Going to be everyone's business, ladies and gentlemen. All thanks to Sam Shamoun.
Since you want to judge me, I guess with this time, I will let people judge me tomorrow.
We're all going to judge you and condemn you.
And then I will make Sam Shamoun everybody's business as well.
Sam Shamoun is about to be everyone's business.
I didn't want to do this.
We did not want to do this.
He forced me.
His decision, 100%.
In fact, let's see what I posted when talk about this first came out. And he insisted on fighting more and more and more. Let's see what I first posted when all of this started. My first post about this was the following. Let me share the screen here. I was pretty clear, wasn't I? I said, people really love gossiping about the private life of a man and his family when it has no relevance at all to his message and the public. I didn't know I was one of the Kardashians. Almost everything I have read about me and my family while I am busy trying to build bridges and speaking to Christians, Jews, and Muslims in Israel is totally false. I wasn't actually speaking to Muslims, but I thought at that moment maybe I can try. So I have to clarify that. Some of the falsehood is even spread by people who have my number and could just give me a call. Obviously, I'm talking about Sam here. They prefer public gossip instead because it is more entertaining to them and their impulses. Once again, almost everything read about me at this point is false. Much of the stuff was about, oh, he chose Zionism. He chose his life broke down because of Zionism.
That's why it's David's fault.
His family told him not to go to Israel, but he went.
David
would.
David believes that Jews shouldn't be exterminated and that they should be able to defend themselves. This is pure evil and it causes marriages to rip apart.
And if you actually listened at some point to that guy make a claim that it's all about Israel, and you are still sitting here expecting me to explain things, please shut up. You clearly are not interested in the facts and the truth. So retarded, man. It's because of Israel, dude. I mean, we joke that people want to make everything about Israel and about Jews. But the guy actually came and made this about Israel, man.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
Hey, look at this. AP and David, let it go. There is no need to be the same. If Sam is doing something wrong, then you don't have to just ignore it and address it privately.
We're not doing the same thing. We're not being the same.
We're holding him to his standard. Why would we not hold him to his standard? Why? Tell me that. What? You don't have to. Yeah, we don't have to. We could just let him be a complete hypocrite the rest of his life and spend all his time applying rules that he himself doesn't follow. What's your basis for that? What did Jesus do with the Pharisees? He called them out on their hypocrisy. But so he didn't have to call them out on their hypocrisy. He could have just ignored it, but he called them out. In fact, that was one of the main things Jesus did in his ministry, like one of the main things. Over and over and over again, he calls out people for their hypocrisy. But Sam's immune. I'm wondering if you're a Sam fan, because that's Sam's rule. The rules do not apply to him. Like there's one overarching rule. So he has all these rules. If someone does something, then you must expose it and shout it from the rooftops. Okay. But the overarching rule is none of these rules apply to him ever. And you're basically saying, go along with that. No, we're not going along with it. We're applying his standard to the three of us here. To no one else, just the three of us. Just the three of us.
Oh, David, why are you not calling me out, man?
Because that's tomorrow.
Why is David not calling out AP fully?
You guys missed the whole part where we're going to have a show specifically for, why isn't David calling out?
Imagine how messed up it would be if David actually came, if David saw 1 or 2 posts during that whole time and started making, started attacking me and making claims about me the way Sam did.
That's what I was supposed to do.
Anyway, every major decision I have made over the last year has been made with the complete awareness of and consultation with a priest whom I consider a spiritual father. This is also another thing here. I posted this, and what do I say here? What does it say here? Every major decision I have made over the last year has been made with the complete awareness of and consultation with a priest whom I consider a spiritual father. Sam came in here and took this and said, look, now he's saying that his priest agrees with him and gave him the blessings for everything he did. So that means his priest is bad too. David, does this here say that my priest approved of everything I did?
No.
Does this mean
sounds like you are informing your priest of things?
That's exactly what it says here.
He is aware. He is aware of things.
Does it say here anywhere that everything I did was done with permission from my priest? No.
Yeah. No, that's like we are aware of the things Sam has been saying about people's mothers and so on. That does not mean we approve of them.
Yeah. And he actually sat down and twisted this into, oh, look, his priest is in on it. He approved. He's saying he approved of it. So either he's lying about his priest or his priest is sick too.
You see, his priest is now. This priest is evil.
It's just so messed up.
This is the effect of Zionism.
He starts lying. I mean, it's right in front of you. He reads it and then lies about it, twists it to lie. What's wrong with you, man? Everything has been done through more consultation, prayer, and contemplation. Every decision has been made in line with what would be best for everyone involved.
Yeah, guys, everyone, just let me kind of explain the relevance there. Explain the relevance of that passage. So, AP is a public figure. So something happens in his life. People are going to be wondering, hey, what's going on? Is he a total dirtbag? Is he partial dirtbag? Is he, he's not really a terrible dirtbag. What's the situation? What's the situation? Right. So people are wondering that sort of thing. Right. And AP is going to share some things. There are other things. There are going to be other things that are just going to, it's none of your business. Right. Can there be things that are relevant to his decision? Here's the issue. Can there be things that are relevant to his decision that he wants to keep private, not in public? In other words, hey, there are things going on. These involve other people, and I don't want to share them with you. But just so you know, I've talked to my priest about this, right? So it's not just him going off on his own, and it's I don't know all the details, but it makes perfect sense to say, hey, not everything in my private life is your business. And if I think that this justifies this course of action, but I don't want to share this stuff with you, I don't see why he would have to share stuff with you, especially if it involves other people and he doesn't want to be putting everyone's business out on center stage just to make Sam Shamoun, just to give Sam Shamoun ammunition and so on, or just to appease Sam Shamoun, right? So that seems reasonable, but what you would want to know is, does this guy just think he's a lone wolf and he gets to decide all this for himself and he's not accountable to anyone? What's he saying? He's saying, I discuss this stuff with my priest. My priest is informed of all the stuff. So I talk to my priest about this stuff. So I'm not just going off on my own saying, whatever I want to do is fine. So if that's unacceptable, and it's basically no, whatever your reasoning is, and no matter who it involves, this information has to be made public. I mean, think about this, right? So suppose, what's going on with AP and Jenna and so on. It's like, if you say all this stuff everything that happened between them or whatever has to be public, just keep in mind, you're saying public, right? So now the kids always have to know about this in the future. And so it's like, where are you guys getting this from? So anyway, long story short right there. As we're discussing this, no, I don't believe that everything that happens is everyone's business. Some of it is people's business because AP's sort of he's a public figure. He's on live streams. People are going to want to know, hey, what's the actual situation? So I think it is a good idea to share whatever he is comfortable sharing. But if there are areas where I'm not talking about this, it involves it's private. It involves other people. I don't want to share this in public. That's completely reasonable. And if you've got a problem with that, I'd say you're a hypocrite. Because I guarantee you don't want everything in your private life being public.
That's true. So yeah, the point once again, those who need to know about it already know, and nothing is done with just my own account. Okay. There's absolutely no need for fellow Christians to spread rumors about me. If we needed their input, we would have asked them. They should focus on their own problems while I try to be better and focus on mine. I have no desire nor any intention to share anything else with the public. Thanks, and may God have mercy on me. Of course, things have changed since then. I did indeed have no intention to share anything else with the public. But things have changed. Things have changed.
Yahweh Ray, I assume he's talking about tomorrow, but Yahweh Ray says, will I be blocked for defending Sam? No. I want you guys to defend Sam. I mean, if you believe that Sam's actions are defensible, no, tomorrow, no, you're not going to be blocked. Don't lie and don't act like a total scumbag, but if you can defend Sam, then defend it. See you tomorrow.
See y'all tomorrow. None of this should be happening, but it's happening.
Thanks, Sam. What's crazy is he's going to throw the biggest tantrum ever. And it's like, why is any of this happening?
The thing is also, I would still, even if there was endless talk, I would still not feel the need to actually come out and talk about it. But at this point, so many claims have been made, so much has been twisted in the public that it has turned into injustice against me and also against the wife involved. And guess what? I don't want any of that taking place, which is why I will clarify things. Was hijab MMA fight real or staged? David, we must know it was staged by the Mossad.
Yeah, don't know, don't care. I don't think his MMA career is going to go the way he wants. He seems slow. He's never going to have really like high level fights. He's way too slow. And a legit MMA fighter would crush him. And I don't think he has the ability to improve enough to be a serious contender. So point is, he's trying to pay off his close to $1 million that he owes because of his frivolous lawsuit. I don't think that's the route to go. I think he should just take up a big collection from all of his donors and just go ahead and tell them, hey guys, I got to pay this off so my life can move forward. But yes, all your dawa donations will be going to a gay Zionist.
Paul, I found the article that Candace showed she shared to Charlie. About Ben, and she lied. No Soup for Knowles retweeted me, so you can see it there if you want.
I'll go check. We'll go check that out now.
I follow No Soup for Knowles. She's funny and
pretty funny.
Good. Seth, that real ex-spy in the chat says, AP, did you see Mossad abusive while in Israel? I didn't. No, I didn't. What's up? What's up, man? You're birthing Christ. I have a spare goat you can have. Thank you.
Hey, by the way, the goats thing, that started with Eric there. And it was because he has a ton of goats, like real goats, guys. Have a farm with goats and sheep. And yeah, just one day he said, I think it was, what do you want for Christmas? And I said, goat. I was like, hey, I would like to cook and eat one. But then he sent me this. With Quran in the mouth.
Noise.
So that's how the entire goat thing started.
Christianity is totally based. I can't use my soundboard, but yes. Yossi Kenner, did you know that Islam invented algebra and division? Muhammad and Aisha discovered how many times 54 can fit into 9. Also discovered how many times 30 can fit into 1.
I'm screenshotting this. I'm going to use that whenever we invented algebra. Hey, Yossi Kenner and everyone who's watching right now. Watch, I'm going to steal that, and everyone's going to think I'm hilarious, but it will be stolen. So you all know. And I will not give credit. I will just say, yes, I'm brilliant. I came up with this hilarious joke.
The Camel Apart says, condolences AP, shame Shamoun has been truly vile. AP David Woodwire, there are many biblical shows out today. Have you seen any? If so, do you have any favorites? Biblical shows.
I started watching, it's one of those Angel Studios shows. It's called Testament. It's called Testament. It's the book of it's if the book of Acts happened today. And when I heard that, I was like, oh, if the book of Acts happened today, how's it going to make sense? The world has already been influenced by Christianity, so how are you going to make it happen today? But what they did was they made it like a dystopic present where Christianity had never happened, and it's just like you've still got something that's like the Roman Empire, and
that's interesting.
Other than that, it's just straightforward, like Book of Acts, like they're going through the entire book, but they're dealing with like some of the rough issues in the Book of Acts. So anyway, I was all, like on episode 4. It seemed a little slow at the start. Like, okay, this is okay. My wife liked it, and we got to episode 4. It started getting really, really awesome. But I've only seen up to episode 4.
Interesting. I shall check it out. At some point, I liked The Chosen, but then it just became too dorky, and I don't like it anymore.
AP says it's dorky to be chosen. His true colors are being exposed.
Well, this is the result of Zionism. I'm sorry to those who like it, and I also liked it to a certain time, but then the dialogue is just so corny. So, I don't know. Nomi Flower, Candace's anti-Semitic views was more a shock this year to me than Nintendo saying Mario and Peach are good friends who help each other sometimes. Cresterosi says, for some reason, I'm paying money to point at your obsession with me. Okay, good. Estequam Viderti says, if you look up Red Seed Ventures, you will see that Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, and Pierce, among others, are operated by this company. That's why they are so squishy about criticizing each other. Powerful. Paul Penn Shapiro seems to be the only mainstream person who really pushes to hold the moral line on the right, and it makes me just more impressed with him. And Megyn Kelly called Ben the father of her podcast. Apparently he set it up for her. Wish he will debate more mainstream figures.
Going to be rough because he's becoming more and more marginalized as people go more and more in an anti-Jewish direction.
The funny thing is that Ben Shapiro is the same that he was many years ago. He hasn't changed, but he's becoming increasingly unpopular among the rising hard or fake right.
And by the way, that's exactly what people were saying for years about the left. Like people would ask, like Roseanne Barr and other people's like, hey, you used to be left, but now you're right. And she would say, like, I didn't change at all. Things went so crazy in one direction that now, even though I haven't changed at all, I'm considered right wing, even though I used to be on the left. But what you have the sane right and the sane left. You have normal people who disagree on some things about government and so on, but you have totally normal, sane people on both sides. Well, what happened on the left was it went to a completely insane degree. And then all the people who are basically normal now look like right-wing nuts by comparison and so on. But now the same thing's going on the right, where you have the normal right, and you have people going in this like insane direction, and that makes you like the enemy. If you're right where you were, and you were a hero of the right a few years ago, now you're the enemy because they've gone in an insane direction.
Tis very funny. It is very funny. I got roasted for saying that about The Chosen. I like it, but the writing and dialogue is corny, said Love Lillian Rose. Yeah, just keep saying it. Kenneth Owens gives fine, upstanding young conspiracy theorists a bad name, indeed. Carson mentioned the moon hoax stuff, like most of the bad stuff currently happening, started as Soviet propaganda. That's very funny. Lee Wolf the Red, Candace Tucker and Nick are smooth-brained, grifting troglodytes. Oh wait, that's insulting to troglodytes. It is indeed. Shame on you. Sorry, I missed a part. Will Sam be live with you guys tomorrow? No, never. MT, see if you can get the Idaho 4 thing to Milk Bar to do side-by-side comparison, because it's exactly what she's doing with Charlie's case. What?
Oh no, I was just pointing out that again, we're holding Sam to his standard. His standard was you instantly start condemning something. You don't wait to hear from them. You just instantly start condemning them, right? So why would he be here in discussion with this stuff?
Yeah. He even messaged me after I made that post about how he has my number. He could just message me. Then he messaged me. And was like, is it a lie that you did this and this? And I'm like, Sam, it is a lie. You just lied about this and this and this. And he never, ever, ever clarified it in public. He kept on jumping to the next lie and lying about me further and further. Jean Rossi says, there is a Japanese girl translating AP videos in Japanese. Poor guys with AI in the comments. She begs people to tell AP, so here it is, AP. Good. I'll check it out. It's probably some guy from Pakistan. If it's actually a Japanese girl, please get in touch with me. I want to see that you're actually a Japanese girl and not a Pakistani guy who is just using AI. RPBCACUEAIIBH says Sahih al-Zutari 2509 narrated Dr. Dawood under most secret SRC of manliness vid posted 3 weeks ago. Huh, interesting. Good.
Yeah, it's powerful stuff. It's Muhammad's secret source of manliness or whatever it's called. But yeah, long story short, skip to the end. It's Muhammad's secret source of manliness is men injecting their manliness into him. It was a weird ancient belief. They actually believed that men could inject their manliness into other people and give them their own strength. And so Muhammad has his meeting with the men of Al-Zut in the desert, and then he goes around after that saying that he has the strength of 30 men. It's like, okay, where'd you get the strength of 30 men, dude? Uh-oh. Pretty creepy.
Prophet Muhammad. Defund NYC. Bring Sam on your platform. Yeah, right. Let's see. Anti-Zionists are straight retards. Very rude. Who the hell is this guy, Sam? It's better for you not to know. Okay. You guys are all man. Deal with the problem like one. You're all good in what you do. Invite Sam live and talk about it. Nah, not happening.
Yeah, where are you getting that idea? He's been trash talking AP and me constantly.
Did he
on his
wait
live stream
to talk to me? Did he invite me and ask me questions? Did he message me first before creating complete lies about me? No.
Yeah, so where are you getting this idea? I mean, and keep in mind, why wouldn't this be like the rule for everybody? No, don't talk about Candace unless she's here. Don't talk about him. Why? People say things in public and we respond to them. Are we allowed to do that?
Tell Scam and others to go watch the Kardashians. I wouldn't suggest him to do that, considering that he has serious problems with women. Yo-Yo Hana Brazil. What's up? It's sad that people are so parasocial that things that are supposed to be private need to be addressed. Praying for you and your family, AP. God bless you all. I mean, honestly, I expect certain things to be more public now than before. And I understand that. I get it. I know that people ask, that people wonder, and all that. And it's also, and I myself made things public in the past about my life. So I shouldn't be complaining about all of it being public, right? But if certain aspects of it are now handled privately, and not shared with the public because they don't concern the public, then don't insist on making it public. I would be as honest and straight up as possible about the situation. But once again, it would have to at some point involve me talking negatively about other people where it is not my place. And I don't want to do that. Believe it or not. House of Hikmah, Sunday, 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 be there or get left in the dust, inshallah. If you are in Christ, you are a new creation. The old is past. We love you, AP, and you are right. It's not anyone's business. Thank you. Dawa troll. This ain't Dawa TMZ. Love you, AP, not in the Zut way. Suentime says, when Shannon brought the maritinage to Ajna up publicly, when Shamoun brought up the marriage situation publicly, I told him he was nothing more than a gossiping old church lady. Yes, this but was none of his business fact. That's true. That's very beautifully written.
I'm sure he responded to that very well.
Yannick Kerger made a super chat. Thank you so much. Esse quam vidity. This is going to be painful. Yes, you will also gain the gift of clarity of knowing who is really on your side. All things in God's good time, friend. Thank you. Thank you. Leo Wolf the Red. The Sam guy sounds like the Pharisees Jesus was calling out. Powerful. Shang D made a super chat. Invite him live tomorrow. No. Guess we're not waiting till Sunday. We are. Me and my wife are separated for 18 years, yet not divorced because Jesus told that adultery is the only reason for divorce. We shall reunite someday. That's pretty interesting. Nationalist Libertarian made a super chat. That's why I don't follow any preacher apologist who uses profanity, zero fruits of the Spirit to speak of God and use vulgar in the same breath is a red flag. Yeah. I also wouldn't follow anybody who makes jokes about 30 men attacking sexually one guy all the time.
Good point. Except it's serious.
Yeah. John Roses says David Wood fighting his demons not to make jokes.
Oh, that was posted earlier when you were all serious and stuff.
Sending love to you and your family. Thank you. Would love to see David Wood interview Nick Freitas, solid pro-Israel conservative, mistaking him for Nick Fuentes.
That would be funny.
Babylon B interview level comedy. That'd be funny.
That would be funny. I interview him the entire time like he's Nick Fuentes.
Yeah. No, unfortunately, bad marriage is hard on children as a separation. People shouldn't judge situations they have no real knowledge of. God bless AP. Thank you. Live and laugh. AP and David, y'all are looking mighty handsome today.
That's what we do.
What are you lying?
That's what we do. They don't call us eye candy for nothing.
God bless you, AP. As an Assyrian myself, I want to apologize on behalf of Sam for treating you this way. That's not that. This is no one's business, and that you even have to address this. God bless.
Too bad. Too bad. If one Assyrian says something, then we apply it to all Assyrians.
That's what we do. That is what we do. Trish Preek says, hugs to you, AP, and you too, David Wood. Really? For free? Paul, when you read my super chats, they were super chats before you started to talk about the personal issue. I'm sorry if it just seems insensitive. Didn't mean to. No.
Too late. Too late.
No worries.
Too late.
No worries. Candace plus Jews, Judas. Sam made fun of my username, not knowing it was the ancient Chinese name for God. There is a connection with the Jewish story. Look it up. That's interesting. I shall look that up indeed. Because I like looking up stuff like that. Bro, just do a Kenneth Owens. You don't owe them ish. No. People sending you money to support you, but you focus on trolls. Just ignore them. Matthew 7:16 is called boundaries. You got lots of people who love you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Why did you keep working with Sam and Islamicize, says FBI most wanted grape dangler.
I was still working with Sam back then.
Why?
All will be shared tomorrow. I'll tell you exactly why I kept working with Sam and exactly why I stopped working with Sam. I'll tell everyone everything. Why? Because people always listen to him. Because keep in mind, when I'm like, I want nothing to do with this dude anymore, I don't say anything. I don't say anything because I wasn't trying to expose him. So where do people get their information about for why I didn't want to work with Sam anymore? They get it from Sam. Isn't it amazing? Like everyone who knew this guy like 10 years ago wants nothing to do with him. Wife, his friend, they want nothing to do with this guy. like completely toxic. And so, but we don't try to make a scene out of it. We don't try to expose him. And so where do people get their information about why everyone wants nothing to do with him? They go to him. Tell us, why did all these people not want anything to do with you anymore? And they'll believe his explanation. Then they'll come to me, David, why did you abandon Sam just because he became Catholic? What? You guys ever heard me? Have you ever heard me say one word about that? But you believe the guy who's everyone wants nothing to do with after they get to know him. You believe his explanations. Anyway, I'll go ahead and share. I never wanted to. Was never my intention to expose anything at all. He demands it. He says, this is what has to be done. And you're an evil, deceiving hypocrite if you don't expose someone when you know this stuff about him. All right. That's his rule. That's his rule. So now I'll tell everything, and then you'll know.
More the goat, why we see lately so many Christian non-Zionists so angry. The gossip lies so much anger. They are willing to give up basic Christian morals just so as long as they are acting against Zionists. I have a lot to say about that, but I don't want to say anything tonight. It's the trend. People are people. That's what they do.
But the people...
What do you think, David?
What?
Do you not listen to the question?
I don't understand it completely. Why we see lately so many Christian, not Zionists, so angry? I guess they...
Christian non-Zionists.
Christian anti-Zionists. Why are they so angry?
Yeah.
Why
do they abandon Christian morals just to be anti-Zionist?
You got people... One, you have people who always didn't like Jews, and then you had people who were kind of won over to that position over the past couple of years. And lots of people are just bandwagon. Hey, it's kind of cool to start screaming about Jews right now. You have people who kind of jump on the bandwagon.
Beast.
So you got a mixture.
Body the Rabbit made a super chat. Very, very much. Thank you. Very, very much appreciate it. I will pray for you, your children, and your wife, AP. 1 John 2:1. What does it say, David? You know, by memory.
What? Not right now, I don't. Hang on, I was reading a comment.
You was reading a comment? Don't respond to comments. Comments are bad.
Oh yeah, I wanted to put this up.
Comments are evil.
Apostate Prophet, have you or David seen Jake Branchiatella's video on Sam and all this drama? No, I have an amazing ability to not pay attention to any of that stuff. And then what I'll do is someone will mention it, and then if I want to respond to anything or react to anything, I'll say, okay, could you clip whatever you think is relevant for this discussion or something like that? And then I'll use that. But no, I have not watched it. I have no intention of watching it. I don't care. I think Dawa's dying, and I think all the Dawa channels are basically going to become drama channels.
Now, here's a chat that I want to briefly address here. Excuse me, but anti-Zionist is not anti-Jew. I'm sorry, but most of the time it is. In fact, if you are an anti-Zionist, you are most likely anti-Jewish. You might not even be aware of it, actually, sometimes, right? But you are simply anti-Jewish. You have simply jumped on the anti-Jewish agenda. And of course, you can now own it and acknowledge it and say, oh, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Okay, that's one thing, but don't claim that you're not anti-Jewish. Don't claim that it's not about Jews. There is one state here whose entire existence, you are against. There are so many other states out there, right? So many other states out there. People don't go around saying, oh, I don't want that to, I don't want to exist. It has to be destroyed. There are so many states out there. Is there any state with whose existence people are so obsessed with? Except Israel. Israel is the only one where people jump into the discussion immediately and have a problem with its entire existence and want it destroyed. Why? It's because it's a Jewish state. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, just think about what you're saying when you're anti-Zionist. Zionism used to be a position about Jews needing a place for themselves where they can actually defend themselves if someone's attacking them. It used to be a position about Jews need a place, right? Then Jews got a place. And so Zionism now, in just the normal secular Zionism sense, not some religious-based Zionism now is just, and they have a right to exist and defend themselves. That's basically Zionism, what it is now. They have a right to exist and defend themselves. If you're anti-Zionist right now, then you're saying, no, they don't have a right to exist and defend themselves. They need to be wiped out. They need to be wiped off the map. And Jews can only basically live in other places where people can turn on them and wipe them out in a heartbeat. And I don't know if you've been paying attention over the past couple of years, but turns out people can flip pretty quickly and start praising Hitler on the drop of a dime. Right? So having a state is kind of made for these situations where something flips, like in France, and they say, we got to kill these guys. Like, okay, Jews know there is a place where we can go and not be killed by these people. So if you're saying Jews should not have a place where they can actually defend themselves when people decide to exterminate them, you're saying something about Jews. You are saying something about Jews there. Jews are a group of people who should not have a place where they can exist and defend themselves against people who want to exterminate them. You are saying something, I would consider that anti-Jewish. I would.
Aziz says nobody has said that, David. I'm sorry,
what?
but you don't seem to understand what Zionism is. So if you claim that this was a misrepresentation, and if you don't believe in the destruction of Israel, then don't call yourself an anti-Zionist. You don't know what the term means.
Yep.
You have adopted the term from the propagandists who wanted to sneak it into the discussion as if it was a normal thing. Anti-Zionism is an opposition to the establishment and the existence of Israel. That's what it is. If you want to criticize Israel, you have problems with Israel, have them. I have problems with Israel, and I'm a Zionist. If you think, I'm against Zionism, I hate Zionism, and if you think that just means you have a problem with Israel, please ask yourself, why is there a word for that? Why specifically is there a word for opposing Israel, for criticizing Israel? Is there a word for any other country? No. The word Zionism is a very specific word. It is about the establishment of this nation. And you have a problem with that if you declare yourself an anti-Zionist. If you do declare yourself an anti-Zionist, then ask yourself why you don't have a problem with any other country's existence. You got played.
Yeah. Sounds like you're saying something that sounds like you're saying Jews are a particular group and they don't have the rights that we would just take for granted with anyone else. Like, should Japanese be allowed to exist and defend themselves? Yeah. Is it good that they have a place? Yeah. And these are situations where you don't have people want to, I mean, I guess you could have some people, you don't have like widespread animosity towards Japanese people and people want to wipe them out. If you had tons of people, it's like, we have to, what if you had a huge religion and that huge religion says that one of the goals of that religion is to completely exterminate Japanese people. And if you ask me, hey, is it good that Japanese people have a place where they can exist and defend themselves because there's this religion that wants to completely exterminate them? I would say yes. I would say that about Japanese. I would say it about Chinese. If people wanted to wipe out Eskimos, right? If people decided, if we found out that a switch can be flipped and people would be like, we have to wipe out Eskimos. And you said, hey, would it be good if Eskimos had a place where that's their own, where they're not going to be locked in with these people who want to exterminate them? I would say yeah. So I don't, when you're saying, hey, I don't have a problem with Jews, I just have a problem with them existing and defending themselves against people who want to wipe them out. It's like, okay, that kind of sounds like you don't like Jews.
Alhamdulillah. If you don't know what Zionism is, just Google it, please. Thank you. Unusual Grunch says their attacks are for political scoring rather than out of genuine love. That's true. Cheryl R, how about that Candace chick? Ain't she nuts? Love you guys.
No, she's super smart and based.
I vote for a live together and talk and make David moderator. Good luck. Pants Schmans, I don't want to make you my business, not in a Zut sense or any other sense, but I'll tune in anyway. You are in my prayers. Lean on the Lord. He will sustain you. Thank you. What's the psychological, spiritual reason behind Sam fixating on breaking marriages? First Dyer, now AP. Why he's making prophecies for failed marriages? You know what's very funny about this whole thing? he's of course so funny that he is now. Oh, and I know what's going to happen, and I predict this. You know what he predicted several months ago? He predicted that. Oh no, what he predicted a year ago was that I and my wife would become Christians, and would be happy forever. Basically, what happened to that? Vir Dolorum, David, what do you think could have changed Sam before now? Brain surgery? Jeremy Mott, IEP, I know you're not perfect, so I won't judge you for any sins you have committed, for I'm a sinner too. Based. Tatiana, for what it's worth, I support your separation. People just need to trust there's reason. I've got one of the strictest biblical views on marriage. I know a bit more, so let's pray for all, especially the kids. Thank you, Tatiana. AC, and what about Christ Standard Brothers? Apparently we have just completely disregarded those, yeah. Jackson, I've been away from the Islam-Christianity discussion for a while. What is wrong with Sam? His brain. Joe Moses, it's funny. I listened to Sam for years, but something seemed off, so I stopped. Now I know. Powerful. Stick animations. People saying not to call out Sam is the wrong. In the context of the church, 1 Timothy 5:20 tells us to call it out for elders like Sam, so the others don't make the same mistake. Powerful.
Yeah, guys. Anyone who's reading the Bible and just saying that someone can do whatever he wants and be as big a hypocrite as possible and spend all his time attacking other people and so on, and develop this weird troll cult and so on, who carry out his behavior. Like, in other words, he shows the example of how to disagree with people. You just start talking about their mothers being whores and stuff like that. If you're reading the Bible and saying you can never call any of this out and should never put a stop to this, just I think you need to go back and read it again.
Powerful. Therese Miller says, sorry to hear you're going through such upheaval. Hope everything works out for all of you. I hope so. Thank you. Sam is spoiling the mood to the point I can't even make good jabs at David with Mike Winger comparisons. That's worse than Candace drama. It is. WAPW David L. Sam. SS has the ability to put people off becoming Christian, says Libya. You are the one whose daughter or granddaughter he attacked, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. It's pretty messed up, man. Love you, not in the,
We know.
Dennis RB, the best you all can do is to be reconciled in private, forgiving each other.
What planet are you from?
Know is the way. Forgiveness is one thing. Reconciliation is another.
Yeah. What in the world are you talking about? You have a guy who will not, under any circumstances, change his behavior. He attacks. If you criticize anything, he responds with endless abuse and stalking and everything else. You need to understand there are people in the world who just need to be called out and rebuked and put aside until they repent. But it's not just, oh, you've got a guy who instantly, the moment you disagree with him, starts calling everyone bastards and whores and their mother were raped by Shias, and he says he wants to piss on them and stuff like that. And he makes up rules and then applies them to everyone else except himself. And he uses his knowledge of theology in the Bible just to draw people to him and to then start the cycle of abuse again. And y'all just need to reconcile with him. The hell are you talking about? Like, where are people getting these insanely stupid ideas and thinking, nope, this is how it works? Let's just say, suppose he's an axe murderer and he's just murdering children left and right and refuses to repent. He insists on murdering children left and right. Would you say, just reconcile and just work with him for the kingdom? Got to do that for the kingdom. I don't think you understand any of this. I don't think you understand the Bible or the situation. So best not to tell people what to do if you have no clue what you're talking about.
Powerful. Zuthol said Islamic Dilemma 2026. If the eyes really are the letter zero of the anus, why didn't it protect Homo from al-Zut? This is a good one. This is a good dilemma. I appreciate it. Zvara, have you guys seen the Tony Lapidus impression of Douglas Murray schooling Joe Rogan on the MMA? It is very cool. I haven't seen it at all.
I haven't seen that, but that sounds like a good one. Joe Rogan on MMA.
That sounds like a good one. More Rouge.
Joe Rogan.
I am currently considering getting Quran verses for the Islamic dilemma tattooed on my arms, David, since I'm getting impatient waiting on your shirt.
Based.
Eric Barlow. Mo, I have the strength of 30 men. Others, why are you walking funny?
Hey, I have to say, because you can get entire verses tattooed on you. You could just get like a list down your arm of just the references, Surah 5, verse 43. And so you could have those down your arm. And it would be an awesome conversation starter when people are like, hey, what are those? You go, oh, these are the references in the Quran that confirm the Bible. Go ahead and take a picture of them with your phone and go look them up. That would be dope. Or people could go in a Mosh Cohen direction. So Mosh puts those little scan codes in different places that send people to videos and stuff. You could have that like on your arm. It has a scan code on there, and then people can just scan that with their phone.
Hey, yo, AP, glad you're back. Just listened to your laugh from 2 days ago. Thoroughly enjoyed Annoyed David Wood's rant about Sam. I know this is serious, but I found it funny. LOL. Also, I'm glad you came to your senses and started praising Protestants.
About time.
I was always praising Protestants. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he was always saying Protestants are most based and the best people.
I always say Protestants are based. Protestants are totally based. Joshua Wooden, The House of David is a great show. Season 2 is almost out. I'm learning the lyre harp because of that show. Really, you are? That's what I'm doing too, but not because of the show. Pre-King David was a great musician. Powerful. He was. Yo Hannah Brazil says, just like the Quran is a detailed explanation of everything, tomorrow's stream will be an explanation of everything. It shall be.
But it will be better than the Quran, I can guarantee you that.
Compelling Drare says, if the Zut bang Mo in the desert and Muslims aren't there to hear them, does Mo make a sound? No. Nationalist Libertarian, God bless you, AP from Islamic Republic of Canada. Thank you so much. Oh, good, David was still ranting. This is top tier content I subscribe for. Lots of love to you too. AJ Baines, God bless you both, AP and David. You're two of the most courageous men I've come across. How is it that a guy like Fuentes can be influencing the conservative side like this? It's baffling. It's too late in the night to get into that.
I'll give a short answer.
Short? We know what that goes like.
I'll give a short answer. You have people who excel in
I'll
something.
be back in 5 minutes when your answer is almost done.
You have people who excel at something. And this, matter of fact, since AP's given me 5 minutes and walking away, I can break it down even further. Plato talked about this. Well, it's Socrates in the story, but Socrates, this is in Socrates' Apology. So the story is Socrates went to the oracle at Delphi, where they would give you no. It was one of his buddies who went to the oracle at Delphi and said, "Who's wiser than Socrates?" And the oracle at Delphi said, "No one's wiser than Socrates." And so the guy goes back to Socrates and says, "Hey, oracle at Delphi said no one's wiser than you." And Socrates is like, "What are you talking about? I don't know anything." And then so Socrates starts going to. He thinks it's a riddle. He thinks it's a riddle that's trying to tell him something. But he can't believe that he's the wisest person because he doesn't think he knows anything. So he goes around and starts talking to people who had some sort of reputation for wisdom. And he said, I started asking them questions and I figured out they don't know what they're talking about at all. They're completely clueless. And so he concluded that he is wiser than them because they don't know anything, but they think they do. Whereas he doesn't think he knows anything. And so he has a kind of wisdom like knowing his actual position and so on. Anyway, it's an interesting discussion there. And he points out like poets are famous for poetry, but people would think that they're wise in other areas, that they know what they're talking about in other areas because they write great poems. And so today you could apply this and say, we've got actors, right? And people will be like, oh, tell us the meaning of the meaning of life, actress. It's like, wait, this person pretends to be other people for a living. What makes you think this person has any greater insight into the meaning of life than any other random person on the street? Why would you ask this person? But human beings have a tendency to think, oh, you're good in this area, therefore you know what you're talking about and should be taken seriously. With someone like Nick, he's hilarious, he's quick, he is smart, but he has evil ideas. But people are looking, well, he's so quick and he's so funny and he's so smart that I need to take what he's saying seriously. What's he saying? Oh, he's praising Hitler. So that's Nick Fuentes. Notice a parallel with like Sam Shamoun. Knows the Bible really well. Okay, if that's attached to an evil will, then you're saying, oh, I need to take this guy seriously because he knows the Bible really well and he knows the Quran really well. It's like, okay. But But if you're concluding that therefore he's okay when he defends his behavior or justifies his behavior, you're not doing it right. So you got to pay attention to what people are actually good at and not think that this means they're correct about other things. So that would be a good principle. Wiggling for life.
Powerful. Wingly. Yannick, what time tomorrow? Yes. Locust of Control. So what's happening tomorrow? Are you guys still streaming a Monster Truck Rally this Sunday? Yes, we are. We are. Joshua Wooden, Thaddeus, did you get into the Sam, the Christian Mojab? Then I saw Sam do the Elon Musk tactic, pre-attacking you both before Sunday comes to poison the well. That's what he does. Good shorts. Are there different definitions of Zionism? Not really.
Yes. No, there are. You have the theological versions of it.
Yeah, that's different. Proud Zionist said goated hunger. London AP, would you ever forgive Sam if he asked you? What are you talking about? Of course I would. I do. I forgive him right now. That doesn't mean that we won't have justice. Otogzb says, what are your thoughts on Lauren Southern's response to Tommy Robinson defending Andrew Tate? Has he provided proof that Lauren returned to Andrew? I don't want to get into that at all. On team, not by the way because it's a problem to me, but because it's a very complicated issue. David Wood, what happened if you touch your ears with my toe? That's interesting.
If I touch your ears with my toe,
that's interesting.
I too was once in a dark place. I punched the crap out of your foot.
I too was once in a dark place, not in a Zut sense. Anyway, take care of yourself, and it will get better. The wound is where the light enters. Rumi, please don't ever quote Rumi to me.
Yeah, and please, if you're going to do it, quote it correctly. It's Muhammad, and he said, "The rear is where the Zut enter."
I often realize
Rumi corrupted it.
I often notice that people don't know who Rumi was because they're like Rumi. Oh, nice, Rumi. Not saying that you don't know, but lots of people don't know. But he was actually just a Muslim Sufi guy from Turkey. Alhamdulillah. The Camel Leopard, the cult of David shall fall to the cult of scam. Tomorrow, brothers, our EO Prot Alliance will win. Inshallah.
Eastern Orthodox Protestant Alliance.
Dr. Bale says Sam strains out the net and swallows a camel.
That's a perfect example. Straining out a net and swallowing a camel. He's sitting in judgment. He will condemn anyone for anything, but he decides who he's going to condemn based on their unconditional worship of him.
You see, he said he's based. People saying to sing Kumbaya with Sam need to watch him. He's a dictator who can't handle discussion. Love y'all for engaging with chat and people like Ease. I don't understand why people who feel the need to hand you their opinions. If I knew you personally, I'd give you advice, but I don't. So all I'll say is I'm praying for y'all and for your fam. Both of you. God bless. God bless you too. God's prodigal. Hey AP, hope all is well on your Orthodox journey. Yeah, it is pretty much. Vir Dolorum. Good night, you guys, but not in the Zut sense. I was watching Babylon 5 again, and I got the Penn and Teller cameos as Rebo and Zuti. The entire joke is ruined completely. How has no one memed the entire B5 cast going Zut for Zut memes? How has that not happened?
Yeah, where is that?
By the way, I'm currently...
Rebo and Zudi.
I need to get back to publishing my songs, man.
Yeah, you do.
Because I have a...
It's the one thing you've ever been good at.
I have a Zut song coming up. It's a pretty good Zut song.
Your Zut song?
Yeah. Let's see.
Looking up Rebo and Zudi.
Let me see if I can play my Zut.
It says there's a Zut fight. What the heck? How have we not heard about this? How's no one told us about this?
That is pretty funny.
Babylon 5, prepare for a visit from Rebo and Zut. I'm going to check that out. I got it pulled up. I'm going to check out the clips later.
Zut, Zut.
Zut, Zut, Zut.
don't work. Let me see if this works. Hang on a second.
Hang on. You trying to play the Zoot song? What are you trying to do?
I hear that train a-coming. It's a-rolling around the bend in the desert sands of Mecca where the wild nights never end. Muhammad drew a circle, told his buddies stay right here. Then the Zut boy showed up naked, bringing quite the atmosphere. Zut, zut. The Zut train's coming, tall and skinny, dark and bare. Zut, zut. They're piling on him, riding the prophet without a care. No gin, just nomads in the fray, crowding around him till the break of day. Zut, zut, that train's a-rolling, a desert party that won't fade away. They mounted up like cowboys on a bucking bronco ride. All night long they crowded round, no place for him to hide. Abdullah's peeking from his line, thinking what the heck, while the Zut gang's doing laps, leaving Muhammad wrecked. Zut, zut, the Zut train steaming, no robes, no shame, just pure delight. Zut, zut, they're forming a conga, turning prophecy into a wild night. From dusk till dawn, they kept it tight, a rodeo beneath the starlit lights. Zut, zut, that train's ablaze and making history with everybody.
Anyway, that's the preview. So.
Yeah, so the idea, in case for anyone who's missed it, the idea is we want to get some country bar at some point, some country bar where they sing songs and stuff. I'll get all up in a cowboy hat and stuff like that. I'll sing it, and we want vocab. We want vocab as Prophet Muhammad in his suicide vest and so on. But it's like line dancing, but it's a line of dark skin Indian or Pakistani men behind him dancing and gazing upon him lovingly. As anyway, that'd be a fun video, right? That's viral. That's viral stuff.
It's pretty good. The funny thing about this song is that the lyrics are almost entirely AI written. So it's actually ChatGPT that wrote this song like that, which is pretty impressive, honestly. They actually wrote these words down. I only made some little tweaks here and there to make it slightly funnier, but it's almost entirely AI. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, when he rhymed atmosphere, I was expecting it to be something about a rear, but you went with the AI went with atmosphere.
Powerful. New member, welcome to the club. David, you guys are at the point with Sam where you should be praying him into the hands of Satan so that he may reach the point of repentance. You've clearly called him out.
Keep in mind, we are hoping that this ultimately leads to Sam's repentance. But I've thought, and I say this from experience. Matter of fact, I'll say this again tomorrow. As someone with a personality disorder that steers me in the direction of abusing other people and so on, taking advantage of other people, I kind of had to hit complete, utter, total rock bottom, just absolute rock bottom before realizing that I need to change. Sam has never hit a place where he thinks he needs to change. It's everyone else in the world needs to change and adapt to him. And because since he always has a group of followers, and he weeds out anyone who's going to criticize them, starts talking about their mothers and stuff, that leaves him with a group of yes men around him, and they just praise him for everything. And right now he's a horrible victim. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? You demanded this. Then we're finally responding after years of you attacking everybody. We're finally responding in his followers' minds that he's the victim and so on. So anyway, he needs to completely lose those followers and just realize, before he eventually realizes, I seriously need to take steps to change this behavior. He's never gotten to that point, which is why he gets worse every year. So
Muted Squeaker says, didn't AP make a video about Muhammad Hijab's secret wife, hypocrite? Yes, I did. Now, what was different?
I can think of a big difference. Namely, it's something that's going on in the Dawa community that they are duping women into being their secret second, third, fourth wives and treating these women like prostitutes. They're making false promises to them. Yeah, we're gonna build a life together and we'll have a house and kids and so on. And then they marry them, have sex with them, and say, no, you're just my hotel wife. You're just someone for me to have sex with, and that's all you're ever going to be to me. And then, so the women then walk away going, wow, we're being treated like prostitutes here. And you have someone who says, I need to warn other women, other Muslim women, about how the Dawa guys are abusing us and treating us like prostitutes. What happened? All the Dawa guys unite and attack the woman, lie about her, make fake screenshots and stuff of her texts and so on to condemn her, make a fake AI confession of her. That's what they start doing. And we realize, wait, you've got all these Dawa channels. Some of them got millions of followers, and they're all attacking this woman who has no following. And is that something where we actually agree with the Muslim woman on? Yes, Muslim women do need to be informed. We're not Muslims, but we don't think Muslim women should be abused by a bunch of serial predators. So we helped a woman spread what's happening to warn other Muslim women so that they're not treated like prostitutes by Dawa guys. And you're saying that makes us hypocrites. Hypocrites how?
So let's make it very, very simple here. I said, what's the difference? The difference is very simple. The case of Mohammed Hijab involves great injustice and abuse toward other people involved. That's the difference. Hypocrite. God bless you guys. Can't believe I've got drama in the apologetics I watch, like TV. Talk about getting grounded. Jesus is God. Indeed he is. Constantine hugging and kissing. Dude, that's what I think all the time when Constantine comes.
I'm sure he got that joke like all his life. It's like people think they'll be funny and they'll go, hey, David would if he could, but he can't, so he won't. It's like, yeah, I heard that hundreds of times growing up. So I'm sure he always got Constantine hugging and kissing.
Mm-hmm. Satan knows the Bible very well, too, so clearly knowledge of the Bible doesn't necessarily mean you're a good person. Looking at you, Sammy boy. Wusses Lane says, AP and David Wood, this conflict with Sam is precisely what the enemy wants. No, it's not. Please
no, what the enemy wants is for you to think that Sam should get away with this because under no circumstances should you call it out and cause division. And just, you have no freaking clue what you're talking about.
That guy
Jesus exposed hypocritical religious leaders. Paul called out Peter, exposed Peter to his face in front of everyone. Why? Because Peter was doing something that was causing division publicly. And so he got exposed publicly. All this, hey guys, you don't want to look like we're divided. Therefore, you just need to work together with this guy who will call your mother a whore and say she got raped and he wants to piss on her on the drop of a dime. You have to act like this is okay. You have no freaking clue what you're talking about. What you're saying is completely unbiblical, idiotic nonsense. The enemy wants you to think that you can never call out hypocrisy so that hypocrisy spreads. Don't act like, no, what the enemy wants is for you to deal with hypocrisy and expose it. No, that's what Jesus wants. And he showed that by his actions. So quit embarrassing yourself with this nonsense.
Felicia says, I am aorta. It doesn't say I'm aorta. I'm sorry, not whatever that word was. I get it now. Thank you. I'm sorry that you're going through such changes. And then on top of that, having to deal with gossip mongers to boot. You and your family are in my prayers. Love you and David Wood, not in the Zoot sense, though. Thank you. Buddy the Rabbit, can't wear my Zoot suit anymore because of the associations. I love a pair of wingtip shoes and a Zoot suit. Looks classy. Yeah, don't wear anything from Zoot. It's actually funny the more I think about it, because the cast repeatedly goes Zoot, Zoot, as an in-joke the audience is never clued in on. Now we know.
They knew about the Zoot.
Raymond Ibrahim has a new series, Zoot Chronicles. He does.
I think I saw something like that. That's funny.
If Johnny was alive, he would definitely approve. I think he would. Cowboy George in the Zoot Club, the Z Team. I ask about the definition of Zionism because after the 1948
wait, go back to that war. Did you already erase that one?
I can't go back. Erased.
I think that was you missed it, man.
What?
I remember that episode. It was an episode of the A-Team. Anyway, sorry.
I don't
go ahead.
care.
Fine.
I ask about the definition of Zionism because after the 1948 Arab-Israeli War, many have attempted to redefine or hijack the term to mean something closer to colonialism. No, there is an evolving definition of it, which is initially it was just the movement for the establishment of the modern state of Israel. Then after it was established, it would be it would change into the preservation and furthering of that state, or the preservation of that state, or the existence thereof. So that's how the definition would change in and of itself. That's it. London, who do y'all think is the best Dawa guy and worst? Worst is Daniel Kikachu, and best is, I don't know. Who's best?
It also depends on what you mean. Like the guy who's most appealing to Muslims, or who we are most impressed by. If you ask, like, who am I most impressed by and who do I think is like just awful and terrible, I have to say the only people that I even can take seriously usually aren't from normal, straightforward Sunni Islam. They'd be like Ismailis or something like that, who tend to approach things more philosophically, at least right now. So like Khalil Andani. If Khalil, I don't agree with Khalil on a ton of things, but I can actually listen to him and take what he's saying seriously. The worst Dawa guys, I mean, my goodness, take your pick. Muhammad Hijab, Ali Dawa, Daniel Hakikachu. These are all guys who are like actually doing massive damage to the ummah, but they're still propped up like heroes. And it's kind of I don't know, it's kind of hilarious to watch. Hey, look, someone keeps spamming this. I don't know if it's like a fan or a critic, but Sam is going to be on Patrick Bet David. Sam is going to be on Patrick Bet David. Sam is going to be on Patrick Bet David. Sam is going to be on Patrick Bet David. Sam is going to be on Patrick Bet David. Sam is going to be on Patrick. And Patrick Bet David is going to find out the same thing that everyone else finds out. You think, wow, this guy's knowledge is really impressive. It's so amazing that he has all this knowledge. And then you find out later in the comments, like, what he does that you don't know about. And then you're like, whoa, should I really be promoting this guy? It's pretty much everyone goes through that cycle. But yeah, he's going to be, apparently he says he's going to be on Patrick Bet David. I was asked to be on Patrick Bet David a few weeks ago, and I said, I don't think I'm the best for that topic, so probably get someone else on that particular topic.
Beast. I wanted to enjoy the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but this is the song stuck in my head. Thanks. You're welcome. Paul called out those who boasted their faith would overcome their sins, and so they didn't truly repent. Powerful. What was the name of that show you mentioned, David Wood? There is no such show.
Testament.
That's it. All right. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Bye. All right, David, what are we doing tomorrow?
You don't know.
We already explained what we're doing tomorrow.
You don't know?
All right, everybody.
No, you better ask somebody.
All right, everybody. So we will be live tomorrow on David Wood's channel, David Wood, where we will be talking about everything.
We'll be talking about everyone who's involved in this particular discussion, namely me, AP, Sam. Everyone will be exposed.
It's not going to be a nice show.
It'll be nice.
It won't be nice.
It'll kind of be nice. That'll be nice, though.
It would be nice. Anyway. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We will see you all tomorrow. I'm very tired. I need to go and sleep. As always, have a fantastic day. And, as the screaming goats like to say,
stay away from Islam.
Powerful.